Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of OTC Markets, we are very pleased you have joined us for our OTCQB Venture Conference. Our next live presentation is from Zero Candida Technologies. Please note you may submit questions for the presenters in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for a one-on-one meeting by clicking Book a Meeting in the top toolbar. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Sophie Galper-Comet, Chief Financial Officer, and Dr. Asher Holzer, Founder and Director of Zero Candida Technologies, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol ZCTFF and on the TSXV under the symbol ZCT. Welcome, Sophie and Dr. Asher.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining and expressing your interest in Zero Candida. Zero Candida is a company developing revolutionary technology and women health industry. Femtech, this is Femtech company developing the first AI-enabled intravaginal therapeutic device for treating vulvovaginal candidas. I will refer to this like VVC, commonly known as yeast infections. The technology combines blue light therapy, targeted drug delivery, and wireless diagnostic for real-time data transmission to the doctor for personalized at-home treatment. The device demonstrated 99.9% Candida elimination in preclinical studies. As mentioned before, the company is listed on TSXV in November 2024 and recently on OTCQB and FCE as well. I would go through investment highlights. Our market is really enormous. So if we refer to global antifungal market is over $15 billion. In general, women health device segment is over $22 billion. VVC market alone projected to exceed over $2 billion by 2030. We are first of its kind technology. Very smart device, blue light technology, using gel and AI diagnostic. It's a patented platform, and at the moment, global IP is in progress. We have very clear regulatory path, FDA, de novo classification underway, pursuing fast track designation. And we also working on expanding to other gynecological indication. We showed validated preclinical data, opportunity to leverage both B2B and B2C models for a final device. And as mentioned before, 99, almost 100% Candida eradicate in 3 hours. Regarding clinical commercial traction, we thinking on the path of negotiation with major US pharma players, and obviously doing this process through clinical trials. Again, just a bit about the market, VVC landscape. The cases of VVC each year are around from 100 to 200 million. 75% of the women will suffer from VVC at least once. The average age is 24 to 34. And by, as mentioned before, by 2030, VVC market is supposed to reach over $2 billion. And if we expanding our indications to other femtech market indication, we meeting basically market of over $115 billion. A bit about the problem. Until recently, the root cause of VVC was poorly understood and inadequately addressed by existing medication. So there's 3 major existing paths to take care of this condition. vaginal ovulus, oral drugs, and creams. So we encountered three different problems treating this condition. So first, it's microbial resistance, which basically based on reduction in the intracellular level of drug. Lack of drug efficiency, low drug bioavailability, side effects, and also short time of drug efficiency and high reoccurrence. And the most important one is host, basically the bacteria tends to alternate in the immune system, and then we basically coming across chronic condition, as well as special cases of like immune deficiency patients such as cancer, AIDS, and organ transplant and such. So a bit about technology. Sorry? The technology designed to reduce side effects, frequent doctor visits, and prescriptions. This is non-drug blue light therapy and a smart vaginal diagnostic device. It's offering precise and personalized treatment with individualized light frequency targeting to produce 99.99 fungal eradication in only 3 hours. It's a novel diagnostic and therapeutic technology platform with the novel regulatory path, as mentioned before. Here you can see the solution is basically therapeutic blue light at precise wavelengths and intensity, a gel-based delivery system with artificial intelligence inside the device, Wi-Fi and VoIP connectivity, temperature and pH sensors, discrete and patient-centric design. And this is why we believe that the technology can be expanded beyond current indication to other femtech products and indication, as well as diagnostic indications. Regarding the upcoming milestones, I will turn to Dr. Asher Oltzman to explain as the inventor of the technology. Asher, please go ahead.
Yes, please. Basically, the device that we have is a tampon-like device that emits blue light close to UV, but not UV, that is known to kill Candida. Candida, usually, they like to live in a cold place, in a moisture place and in a dark place. And whenever you put some blue light, of course, you can kill them. And we have proven that we can kill, as you have seen before, 99.999 amount of the Candida, which means basically going to a healthy level of bioburden of the Candida. So the lady is going to has to sleep with it for at least 3 hours, and after 3 hours, the results, the system itself can be pushed out, and there is a telemedicine. Basically, all the data is going to be removed, and basically with the telemedicine directed into the doctor office. So it gives us some kind of a business model that also the doctors can make money from the treatment, as well, of course, as the patients can benefit from basically not using drugs. As Sophie said before, the drugs are not really optimum. There is a kind of a vicious cycle. Basically, patients that they have Candida, if they take some ointment or cream, like a Distem, then maybe it will kill some of the Candida, but then most likely they will get bacterial infection. And then if they take some antibiotics, it goes back and they will get the Candida. So we are, with our device, we try to basically break this vicious cycle and make sure that there is in one single treatment without using any kind of drug, maybe the patients can be cured. Basically, we have the product ready, and we're just about to start some animal study in Israel. The laboratory test already showed that we can kill, as we said, more than the necessary amount of Candida. We have to show, of course, now some safety on some animals, and right away go into a human trial. Keep in mind that the human trial is not relatively pretty short and not too complicated, because we are not a drug, we are a device. And of course, we hope to get a certain acceleration from the FDA, because what people have called de novo innovations. Because we have a very unique device that has never been used and it's new into the market, then the FDA, because they want to encourage innovations, they give some priorities and some hurdle for companies that they have some kind of a breakthrough technology. And we hope to get this
Okay, Asher?
Yes, we hope to get into this basically regulatory path. Yes, please.
Okay, so we see the basically the major milestone for us to reach the FDA approval. And maybe at this point, I will go to the questions, because I think it will clarify some issues that it will answer some questions that people asking here. So the first question is, what is the benefits of our solution versus current treatments for VVC? I think, Asher, you already explained it. If you want to add maybe or summarize this for the person.
Yeah, basically, of course, always it's better not to use a drug. Drug has its own drawbacks and some side effects and adverse effects. And always it's better to avoid, I believe, using drugs. It can treat it in other ways. Also keep in mind that the drugs is really changing the flora of the vagina, and it has its own side effects and some drawbacks.
So basically, to summarize, our technology is not drug-based. It's basically technology-based using blue light. And this is the main difference. And it's basically take out patient from this vicious circle that Asher explained previously. And it showed very, very high efficacy that not being found currently in existing treatment methods. So another question asked, do you require FDA approval? And if so, what is the timeline? So I guess just to clarify this, we have this, the answer is yes, obviously, as mentioned before. And we intend to start clinical trials, first pilot in Israel in late next year, Q4, and then move to the clinical trials in USA Q3 2027. We don't expect it, as per Asher's explanation about the novo path, we don't expect, and also given that we're talking about device, it's a relatively easy clinical trial, basically sending patients home with the device. We don't expect huge amounts of patients participate in this study, but again, it's early days, so we'll provide more information later on. The next question is, how does the company plan to educate healthcare providers and patients about this novel technology, especially given the enriched USA of pharmaceuticals for VVC. Asher, would you like to address it? The education of
Yes,
healthcare.
basically, yes. Basically, at the beginning, it's going to be a prescribed device. Means the doctor has to refer, basically, to give a prescription for that, and of course, the doctor will get the results through the basically, the telemedicine will provide him the results. So at the beginning, of course, we will have to sell it through doctors' prescriptions. Eventually, the FDA, we hope, will give it a release to be sold over the counter. But at the beginning, it's going to be sold as a prescribed device that the doctor has to prescribe it to the patients.
Yeah, so I guess, like, again, it's an early day, but we would not, like, regarding the education of the market, obviously it's a novel device. However, I think it's really targeting this new like trends in individual medicine, and there's different technologies such as ours when doctors basically can monitor the treatment or procedure basically remotely. So I think that our strategy will be go through clinics, gynecologists, and basically introduce this device. And honestly, I think it's such a serious problem that we also believe that the pressure would come through the patient, because it's really, as Asher explained previously, it's a really serious problem, very major for very big percentage of women population. So I guess knowing that such a solution is available will also help us to educate and giving safety of the device, obviously not having any side effects will helpful, but obviously they'll need to go through clinics and gynecologists and reimbursement circles. So this is our strategy so far, but again, we are a bit early days. So the next question is regarding proprietary technology. Do we have any patents and any academic research partners? Asher, would you like to address it, please?
Yes, of course. We have a patent pending, of course. The patent is very wide. Basically, it's for any kind of not necessarily for the vagina, for any other inner body organs, for different indications. Also keep in mind that we have basically a platform that eventually we can deliver into the vagina or any place in the inner cavity, body inner cavity, different kind of other alternatives and indications, like we can bring hormones into the vagina, we can treat some other indications. And so the patent covers much more than treating Candida in the vagina, but many other indications for other organs as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Asher. So I'll move a bit for questions regarding financial position and capital structure. So the next question is asking, can you speak to your current capital position and funding needs to support Israel and USA trials? So yes, so basically company did raise in 2023 through private round and crowdfunding. So we raised over $3 million. Currently, we I don't remember exact number, but we have up to, I think, around 2.7 million, which is supposed to be sufficient to fund the clinical trials both in Israel and in US. The company is very skinny. We have very limited staff in North America, and most of the funds going to the development effort. Currently, as Asher explained, animal studies. And also, as I mentioned, we don't expect clinical studies will be enormous, involving many medical centers and many patients. So we expect be covered with current financial position. Having said this, we moving forward to our clinical studies and showing efficacy and showing basically more mature products. I guess we will be open to consider private placement or such, or but again, this is early days, so we do have enough fuel to get to the final line. This is the question. Maybe like relative. So the basically connected question: when do you expect first revenues in 2028? And I think Asher, would it be by conservative assumption? Do you think we would be able to show revenues in 2028?
Yes, I believe so, and I believe also we might be considering eventually to link to some distribution channel in the US to help us introducing it into the US market. And yes, by 28, we have to be ready for that.
Okay, another question says, what are the biggest behavior and psychological barriers to patient acceptance of invaginal device versus oral or topical medications? And how is Zero Candida addressing this?
Maybe I can answer that. Keep in mind that our device is a tampon-like device. So it's very common. I mean, it's not something that we have to teach the patient how to put a tampon-like device. And everything is automatic. It turns on automatically. It basically downloads the information automatically, and using telemedicine directly into the doctor. So the only thing that the patient has to do is just push it in. So and this is something that, is very trivial. I don't see any psychological barrier for that. And I think many people will choose to use a non-drug treatment versus drug treatment that is not optimal at all. So I believe we are a very good alternative for the existing solution, which is far from being perfect.
Yeah, and again, as Asher mentioned, the current solution, they also basically intravaginal, so there's also invasive, and they're giving this device is like after 3 hours versus a treatment of a week or so, like long period of time, and as mentioned, basically the suffering that this problem creates for patient and reoccurring many times. So we do believe that at least for first, obviously we didn't do any introduction to patient, but every conversation, it sounds like it would be very welcoming technology in this area. Maybe I'll take the last question before we wrap up. So how does the AI components personalize treatment in real time? And what challenges does the company foresee in regulatory approval for the technology combination? Asher, would you be kind to answer?
Yes, basically the device itself is it's pretty smart. We check also all kinds of parameters in the vagina, like pH, like conductivity, like, of course, temperature during the process, and some other parameters. So we believe we can maybe try to distinguish between bacterial infections and fungal infection, Candida. and there is a different treatment for different, of course, indication. Of course, we are using all the data is being transferred, basically transfer into the doctor after doing some study and helping the doctor to make a decision. We don't want to, of course, to take the responsibility. We leave it to the doctor responsibility, but basically we advise the doctor how to continue with the treatment if necessary. So we are regulatory-wise, we are a doctor-supported device. We don't take the responsibility, the liability of saying it by ourselves, but we help the doctor basically giving the best therapeutical solution for the patients.
Okay, so last question. There are a few questions coming, but I think one point that it might be a bit premature, and again, early days. But Asher, there's some question basically talking about scaling up and basically production of the products. Can you just touch it just very, very shortly before we?
Yes, basically. Yeah, basically we have already, of course, the prototype ready and the device ready for large scale manufacturing. Of course, we'll manufacturing some outside source. The software is already ready, and everything is basically ready to start the clinical study. Eventually, the manufacturing will be done in a place which is has a good manufacturing practice, FDA approved, most likely in the US or maybe in the Far East. We haven't yet decided. We have several candidates. It depends, of course, on the price performance type, and also on the tax situation that lately we see in the US a different, custom tax if something is coming from, let's say, China, made in China, versus made in the US. So we're considering all the options right now.
Awesome. So just last thing to mention before we wrapping the session. So I mentioned in my presentation previously, basically going beyond the immediate product. So we're looking in basically both B2B and B2C models. Our vision is seeing as a final product is basically a combination of existing device with different pharmaceuticals products, drugs basically. So this is the future of the company, to look into different indication with using this device as a basically delivery device rather than on top of this indication that the device serves to treat this specific condition. We're also looking combining this device with different pharmaceuticals product existing and basically, and as Asher also mentioned, the patent taking care of very, very wide range of indications and conditions. So this is a kind of future vision of the company moving forward. So okay, so there are more questions. I apologize, we don't have more time. I would like to thank you all for participating and asking all this very, very interesting and relevant questions. We are available to discuss and to answer additional questions offline. You have our emails here presented, the phone number and email. So please reach out. We are very, very happy to have all of you and getting your interest and attention in this revolutionary technology. Thank you so much.